a month of moving to Minneapolis, North Minneapolis, I met a guy who was starting a 4-H club for inner city children, and that's where I first realized, I never heard of 4-H until then, and they were building a 4-H club for the inner city youths, and me and my friends all helped my mentor now, William Savensgaard, bring some stuff into the center, and he kind of just winged us and brought us into the point of being members, the first members of North Minneapolis, the first inner city 4-H club in North Minneapolis. It was very exciting. I was excited from day one. I actually learned that I had talent as an artist, and that's what my mentor brought out.
Well, it had a very, very large impact because I had just come out of Brazil and got the job working as an urban extension agent in Minneapolis. And my approach in trying to expand 4-H in the urban community was first to listen to the staff that was already there. I had a Latina 4-H program assistant, and I'll never forget something she said to me almost the first time we worked together. And it was, "You can quote me, but never speak for me." And that left a very big impression on me because it was so easy for me, coming from a dominant culture, to always think that I can say for others, and I can't. They must speak, have their own voice. And that impacted a lot on my way that I started to expand 4-H. I walked the streets, so to speak, in North Minneapolis. Terry was one of my very first kids that I got into 4-H.
4-H was a runoff of what my mom had taught us. I was raised by a mother without my father. My father stayed in in St. Louis while we moved here. And I remember the things my mom taught us, you know, respect and loyalty and to be honest, and all the things that my mom was teaching us as children. I learned that 4-H were teaching the same things, so it wasn't hard to fit in into 4-H. It made me become who I am now. I love outdoors, I love people, I love being in crowds, I love just showing my talent to others. And I don't think I could have did that without 4-H. I think I would have kind of stayed in the back and just watched other people do it. So it helped me evolve and to be bold and to be confident.
Terry was one of my very first kids that I got into 4-H because I had gone into the Glenwood-Lindale Community Center where I met the director who was black. His name was Art Love. And my approach was not to say, "I have a program for you," because that means I had something canned and I expected it to fit his needs. I had to get his trust, and I had to become personal with him. And I kept visiting and playing ping pong with others in the community center. Pretty soon he said, "There's a lot of kids running around here. I think we should do something for them."
I think the biggest thing for me was I met someone very special as a male figure in my life. Like I said, I spent time with my dad during the summer months. I'd go see him for 2 months out of a whole year. But when I met my mentor, who was the senior executive for 4-H, William Savensgaard, he was always there. He didn't just come to work and work with us. Outside of work, he was coming to my home. He was staying engaged with me. It was almost like a father figure. So I think me and our group got blessed because a lot of us grew up without father figures. And William Savensgaard became that figure while he was bringing out the best in us as talent-wise and encouraging us to be our best and to do our best in school. And to it's almost like the competition of 4-H. Like when you go to state fairs and you have to present your thing, he taught us to try to win certain ribbons, or if you don't win certain ribbons, he taught us failure as well as accomplishing goals in our lives as a youth.
If we did a program, we did it on their territory. So we went to community centers, we held art in the park during the summer, and people showed up. it made me have contacts. I got to know people, both kids and adults, and that was opening the door.
My mentor, I idolized him. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to do what he did. And it came a point in time when I think I was about 17, 18, he'd have me go to some of the events, state fairs, and be a young judge for some of the younger kids. And it was natural because I had been doing it as a youth. I had been on the other side. And I said, well, hey, here's an opportunity to go in and now do what my mentor taught me to do. Even though I'm older, these kids were me at some point. So I'm really excited even today to go into any event to do with teaching or mentoring or judging because it reflects on where I came from. So it's a natural, but I was taught to do that by William Sabinsgard.
My biggest challenge was merging, not to have two separate programs, but to merge the urban and the rural into one program.
I'm almost 50 years old, and I have to go back almost 40 years to put myself in a place where I was the child. And when I always let the kids know, I said, hey, I'm an old 4-H baby, you know, and we joke around about that, but it's really serious that the time has gone kind of quick. And I get to hold on to being a child again when I'm around those kids because we're still a part of the same connection.
And it happened not because so much what I did, but because of what the kids created between them.
I like to have a lot of patience with kids and put myself in their shoes and give them what they really need versus what they want. Kids need guidance. Sometimes they're not getting it at home. You have to look at it not from your perspective, but from theirs. If they're lacking in something, find out what they really need, be patient enough, and find a way to make them feel comfortable with who they are so they can come out of that shell of whatever it is that's holding them back from being their best.
4-H had a speaking program, and I had this girl in North Minneapolis. She was only about 6 years old, and I took a carload of kids from an urban 4-H program to Golden Valley to participate in the 4-H public speaking program. And I tried to get them to prepare, traditional 4-H, I tried to get them to prepare, and they had no clue as to what they just thought, well, you asked me to talk, I'm going to talk. And so I trusted this girl. She was only 6. She got up in front of the crowd and she said, my name is, and she gave her name, and she said, and looked over the crowd, she said, and there are both black kids here and there are white kids here, and sat down. And the crowd didn't know what to do. At first there was just silence, and then pretty soon they started clapping, and they realized her message, and it was just clapping like crazy.
So it seems like we're family. Once you let them know you're a 4-H'ers, I'm accepted as a family member by just being a 4-H'er.